Since the government made a harsh necessary decision of placing the country under the lockdown to minimize the spread of COVID-19, it appeared equivalent to a death-like sentence for many micro, small and medium enterprises across the country.
SMEs struggle, and in fact, some SMEs would have collapsed even without this pandemic. That's correct. What we shouldn't allow are SMEs that have been running sound businesses to collapse because of liquidity constraints. Liquidity is just about cash flow. We are not asking for grants, we are not asking for favors, we are saying support these businesses to get through this rough patch, and then later you can kind of settle books.
Government has come up with different strategies to support many affected businesses in the economy for proper recovery from the shocks of COVID-19. However, micro, medium and small-scale sector players are dissatisfied with the interventions. To breathe a fresh life to some of the businesses that are at high risk of going under, the banking sector is compelled to design special financial products to work on the bottlenecks and support the resilience of micro businesses amidst the pandemic.
You know, a business must be able to understand its market space, its clients at fairly granular level so that they appreciate how to respond when a crisis like this hits. They can understand trends quickly and adjust strategy.
In crisis time like this, people talk of credit. But if you intervene and give somebody credit, somebody who is suffering, is that enough? Because he has no cash flow. The revenue is below capacity, as Mr. Uganda'S said. And if you give him credit, can he prepay it? It may not be possible. So you need to blend. You may need an element of grant to support the working capital requirement in terms of expenses and other day-to-day expenses. And you also need some credit maybe for expansion purpose for the future.
The newly introduced taxes levied on the internet data are condemned, with players arguing that it impedes the development of e-commerce.
We also say that as we speak now, there's a need to not to think that it's business as usual. It is definitely not business as usual. If it's not business as usual, you cannot then come and put up new tax measures like everything is normal, because everything is abnormal. The thinking must be, how do we help businesses?
Sectoral analysis by experts reveals slightly higher resilience among agriculture and manufacturing firms compared to service sector firms, which are struggling to survive.